Hey everybody. So today I want to talk about song tempos in your set list. You might lead a worship service and feel like, man, there was something kind of off about that. Something about the music, something about the energy. I don't know quite what it was. It may be because you're not using a variety of songs in different tempos throughout your set list. I mean, all of us have our preferences. Whether you know how to calculate the BPM of a song or not, there's a certain speed of song that you like best. I mean, for me, I like to write songs, but it seems like whenever I sit down and write a song, it's right around 75 beats per minute, right in the middle, kind of a mid-tempo song. I mean, that's just where I go. That's what I like. And you do too. You might like really upbeat songs, songs in the middle. You might like really slow songs. But if you're not careful, your set list can get really monotonous really quickly. So that's why it's important to consider the tempo of the songs you choose for your set list. So today I want to give you three lenses to look through to see tempo a little bit differently as you're choosing your songs. The first is the biblical lens. As we look at the Psalms, the songbook of the Bible, you see every expression of praise that mankind is capable of. It's all there. And you also see every expression of emotion that we're capable of, from joy to sorrow, from celebration to mourning, from crying out and questioning God to thankfulness and gratitude. It's all there. And we know that a good song will match the musical style to the lyrics that are being sung. So it only stands to reason that a song of celebration and joy is going to be upbeat and celebratory. A song of seeking and crying out to God may be a little bit slower and more thoughtful. So there's a good chance that if you're using a variety of songs in different tempos for your set list, you're beginning to scratch the surface of those expressions of praise and those expressions of emotion that are biblical, that are represented in the Bible, that God honors and receives and delights in as worship to Him. The second lens is the musical lens. I mean, think about it. You could play a song with just one chord, the same chord the whole way through. You could, but why would you want to? There's so many different chord voicings and progressions and inversions that create wonderful harmonies against the melody that you're singing. Why would you just want to play one chord? In the same way, you could play a whole set list of songs that are all right in the same tempo range, all upbeat songs or all mid-tempo songs. But why would you want to? God has given us the gift of music. God created music, and we honor Him and we worship Him. And one of the ways we do that is by using and enjoying a more full scope of the musical capabilities and expressions that He's given to us. So when we use upbeat songs, when we use slower songs, we're magnifying the Lord in different ways. God is not one-dimensional. And so our praise and our adoration toward Him also should not be one-dimensional. And the third lens is the tone lens. Not tone like a musical tone, but each service, each gathering has its own tone or its own emphasis. There's early morning prayer gatherings, there's, mid-morning Bible studies, there's evening worship services. Each of these gatherings has a little bit of a different purpose. They might be a time to study the Word of God. They might be a time to encourage one another. They may be a time to seek God. And so understanding the tone that gathering has, and then complementing that tone with the appropriate songs and song tempos can really be helpful. It'd be one thing to blast people out of their seats with the biggest, most upbeat songs or it'd be another thing to just kind of lull people to sleep with a bunch of slow songs. Know the emphasis of the service that you're leading for and complement that with great songs. All right, so those are the three lenses, the biblical, the musical, and the tonal lens to view tempos for your songs. You might be asking yourself, okay, well, what's the formula? How do I kind of get the perfect arrangement of tempos? And there is none. A lot of worship leaders like to begin kind of with a mid-tempo song and ramp up into a more upbeat song and then work their way down towards closing with a more slow and worshipful song. And that can be really effective. I do that quite a bit, but there's no perfect formula. The thing is, enjoy God's gift of music, experiment with different things, but just be conscientious of the tempos that each song you choose has. All right, that's it for today. Hopefully this was helpful for you. If you know a worship leader or someone on your team that may benefit from this, feel free to share it, pass it along. We'll see you again next time.